Have you ever felt lost in the middle of the daily chaos? Like you're trying to control a storm with your bare hands? Modern life demands so much from us that sometimes all we want is a pause button. The good news? The ancients faced similar dilemmas and they found surprisingly effective answers. Stoicism, a philosophy over 2,000 years old, has a lot more to say about our fast-paced lives than much of today's self-help advice. While the world shouts, "Produce more," it quietly whispers, "Master yourself." And it's in that whisper that true power lives, the power to choose how we react, how we live, and how we grow even when everything seems to be falling apart. In this text, you'll discover 12 Stoic secrets that have not only stood the test of time, but have become powerful tools for anyone seeking to live with more control, resilience, and purpose. Get ready for a transformative journey that starts within and will echo through everything around you. 1. Focus on what's within your control. The first big turning point in Stoicism is understanding that not everything is in our hands, and that's okay. We waste so much time trying to fix traffic, change others' opinions, or predict tomorrow that we forget to focus on what truly matters: our choices, attitudes, and reactions. This isn't passivity, it's wisdom. When you direct your energy toward what's within your reach, you find peace amid the chaos. Think about it, you can't control whether it will rain on the day of your event, but you can choose how to face that change with stress or creativity. You can't avoid criticism, but you can decide whether to let it shake you or use it as fuel. This shift in focus is a true shield against anxiety and a springboard for living more lightly. That is real control. Here's a practical tip: every time you feel stress rising, ask yourself, is this up to me? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let it go. This simple question can become your daily mantra. And little by little, you'll realize controlling what you can control is already more than enough to transform your life. But before moving on, here's another Stoic secret that changes the game. 2. Embrace obstacles as opportunities. What if I told you that what holds you back today could be exactly what propels you forward? In Stoicism, obstacles aren't the end of the road, they are the road itself. When you see difficulties as part of the process, you start to understand that every fall can be an invitation to evolve. It's not about avoiding problems, it's about what you choose to do with them. Let's get practical. Say you lost an important project. Instead of sinking into frustration, how about using it to develop more self-discipline or rethink your strategy? Challenges force us out of autopilot and into true growth. It's like a gym for the soul. Without resistance, there's no strength. Stoicism invites us to see life's hardships as disguised opportunities, and that perspective shift is powerful. Turning obstacles into allies is a daily practice. Start by asking yourself, what is this trying to teach me? The answer might surprise you, and when you realize that the greatest lessons come from the toughest struggles, the game changes. In fact, it's by facing those challenges head-on that we begin to live more in the present. 3. Live in the present moment. You know that habit of replaying the past or trying to predict every detail of the future. It's a silent thief of your peace. Stoicism reminds us the only time we truly have is now. It sounds obvious, but really living in the present is a challenge. The mind insists on wandering, but the present is the only place where life actually happens. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the past or future, but rather not letting them dominate you. It's savoring your coffee, listening carefully, taking a deep breath before reacting. The practice of mindfulness anchors you in reality and gives you greater emotional control, and guess what? Control and resilience grow right here. A good tip? Start your day with 3 deep breaths and thank God for something simple. It changes the tone of your day. When you are fully here and now, everything becomes more vibrant. Conversations deepen, decisions become more conscious, and even problems seem smaller. This is where personal excellence begins to bloom. And if you want to keep growing on this path, you'll need a powerful ally: self-discipline. 4. Build self-discipline. Many people cringe when they hear the word self-discipline, as if it meant rigidity or boredom. But actually, it's disguised freedom. Having self-discipline means choosing, day after day, what brings you closer to your purpose even when you don't feel like it. It means setting short-term limits to reap long-term rewards. Stoicism makes this clear: the world shouldn't govern you, you should govern yourself. Want a practical example? That urge to check your phone every 5 minutes? Replacing it with reading 5 pages of a book might seem small, but it creates a cycle of personal excellence. That's how powerful habits are born, one choice at a time. Self-discipline doesn't have to be harsh, it should be smart and aligned with your values. It's doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching. The beautiful thing is that the more you practice, the easier it becomes. It's not about suppressing desires, but about taming them with compassion and awareness. When self-discipline becomes a lifestyle, life flows with more clarity. And guess what? That prepares you to handle any turbulence. Because here comes an essential virtue for anyone who wants to go further: emotional resilience. 5. Develop emotional resilience. Life doesn't come with a manual, and emotions don't ask for permission. Bad news, a harsh comment, frustration. All these can throw us off balance. But Stoicism teaches that we don't have to be prisoners of our feelings. Developing emotional resilience means learning to feel without being overwhelmed. It's having control over your mind, even when everything around you is falling apart. No one is born ready for this, it's training. Next time anger rises, try pausing for 3 seconds before responding. It might seem small, but those seconds are golden. They create space where you choose react as always or act with personal excellence. Resilience allows you to navigate storms without losing your way, making you stronger than any obstacle. Over time, you begin to see emotions as waves, intense, yes, but temporary. And when you learn to surf these waves consciously, you live with more lightness and presence. It's in this state of emotional maturity that we can truly value what matters most. And to reach that, nothing is more powerful than remembering life is short, much shorter than we imagine. 6. Memento mori, remember you will die. This phrase might sound grim at first, but it carries one of Stoicism's most liberating lessons. Memento mori, remember you will die, isn't about fearing death, it's about valuing life. When you truly understand that your time here is limited, you start living with more purpose, presence, and gratitude. Awareness of death clears away what really matters. How many times have you held back saying I love you or starting a project out of fear of what others might think? The truth is, we're all just passing through, and postponing life is a luxury no one can afford. Thinking about death puts us face to face with the urgency to live with compassion, personal excellence, and courage. It's the kind of reflection that lifts the weight off small worries and calls us to action. Want a powerful exercise? Write a letter as if it were your last day here. What would you say? Who would you forgive? Where would you invest your time? This Stoic practice pulls us out of autopilot and reconnects us with our essence. And when your heart is full of awareness and gratitude, the next step comes naturally: learning to cultivate that gratitude every day, in everything. 7. Practice gratitude. Have you noticed how easy it is to focus on what's missing and forget what you already have? Stoicism invites us to flip this logic: appreciate what's right in front of your eyes. Gratitude, when practiced intentionally, has the power to realign your heart. It turns the ordinary into extraordinary and changes the way you see the world, including your challenges. Gratitude is a practice, not just a spontaneous feeling. You don't have to wait for big achievements to be grateful. Start with the basics: the air you breathe, a roof over your head, a friend who listens, the lessons pain has taught you. Make it a habit to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Sounds simple? It is. But simple doesn't mean weak, quite the opposite, it's powerful in consistency. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties, but it redefines the path. It gives you strength to face obstacles with resilience and clarity. And more, it makes you a lighter, more compassionate presence in the world. When you live with your eyes open to good, good begins to multiply. And in this energy of progress and intention, the next Stoic step is born: striving for personal excellence. 8. Focus on personal excellence. Personal excellence isn't about being perfect, it's about being better than you were yesterday. In Stoicism, the goal was never to please others or collect external awards, but to live aligned with your values, consistently and courageously. It's about waking up and asking yourself, what can I do today with what I have to be a little more honest, fair, more me. This focus on refining yourself doesn't come from pressure, but from commitment to growth. It starts small, a healthy habit, a more conscious choice, a calmer reaction. The secret is repetition and, of course, reflection. After all, if you don't measure yourself by your own principles, you'll end up guided by other standards. And that undermines your freedom and power. Pursuing personal excellence is preparing to fall. And getting up wiser. It means understanding setbacks don't cancel the process, they're part of it. The Stoic doesn't seek an easy life, but a life with purpose. And along this journey, one of the greatest gifts is learning to stop caring so much about what others think. Because true validation comes from within. 9. Don't care what others think. Let's be honest, living as a prisoner of others' opinions is like trying to run with a backpack full of stones. Stoicism teaches that real freedom begins when you stop seeking external approval and start guiding yourself by your own principles. You don't need anyone's validation to live with purpose. You do need clarity about who you are and what you believe. That doesn't mean ignoring advice or acting arrogantly. It means having discernment. Not every criticism deserves your energy, nor every applause your soul. Life becomes lighter when you measure yourself by your own yardstick, focusing on your personal excellence. And hey, raise something curious: when you stop trying to please everyone, you start attracting the right people, and that changes everything. A valuable Stoic practice is reviewing your decisions and asking, did I do this because I believe it or to impress someone? If it's the latter, it's time to recalculate your route. Living authentically isn't easy, but it's transformative. And to continue on this path, it's essential to understand that everything changes, including people, seasons, and even you. That's why the next secret is about accepting change with wisdom. 10. Accept change. The only certainty in life is change. It may sound cliché, but it's true. Stoicism doesn't suggest we become complacent, but that we learn to flow with inevitable transformations. Resisting the new is like rowing against the tide, exhausting, going nowhere, and it disrupts your emotional control and resilience. When you understand that everything is in constant motion, you start seeing change as a natural part of growth. That unexpected promotion, a loss, a change of plans, all are opportunities for learning and adaptation. Accepting life's flow creates space to practice compassion, not only for others but for yourself. To start, try this exercise every time something changes in your day. Take a deep breath and silently repeat, "This too shall pass." It may seem too simple, but it helps reframe what looks like an obstacle. And speaking of compassion, that's exactly what we'll explore in the next Stoic secret. 11. Practice compassion and empathy. In Stoicism, virtue isn't just an individual matter, it's a commitment to the collective. Practicing compassion and empathy means putting yourself in others' shoes, understanding that everyone faces invisible battles, and acting with kindness even when the world feels harsh. This not only strengthens human bonds, but also nourishes our inner resilience. You know, that difficult coworker, the complaining neighbor, or even a family member who tests you. A compassionate response is a powerful choice. When we exercise empathy, we stop being prisoners of anger or judgment and open space for understanding. This isn't weakness, it's personal excellence in action. And it's a process that transforms how we see the world. How about a challenge? Pick someone you struggle with and try to understand what might be behind their behavior. Empathy might open doors to conversations that once seemed impossible. And when we practice this often, we're ready for the last step of this journey: reflect and review to keep growing. 12. Reflect and review regularly. Stoicism invites us to look inward, like archaeologists of the soul. Constant reflection is the compass that keeps us aligned with our values and goals. Without this habit, we risk living on autopilot, trapped in patterns that no longer serve us. Reviewing what we do, think, and feel is an act of self-love and continuous growth. Practicing this self-assessment can be simple. Set aside a few minutes at the end of the day to ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? This reflective pause helps cultivate self-discipline and resilience while reinforcing gratitude for small victories. It's in this process that personal excellence is built, day by day. And don't be afraid if you find mistakes or flaws during this exercise. The Stoic secret is learning from them without harsh judgment. After all, we're all works in progress, and with each review, we get closer to the best version of ourselves. This attentive outlook closes the cycle of transformation and opens the door to new achievements. Now that you know these 12 Stoic secrets, the question is, how will you put them into practice in your life? What actions are you willing to take today to gain more control, resilience, and inner peace? Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with every conscious choice, no matter how small it seems. How about starting small? Choose one principle, practice it for a few days, and watch the changes inside and out. After all, living with personal excellence and compassion is a daily exercise that requires patience and courage. And above all, gratitude for every step taken on this journey. If this message touched you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to discover more powerful secrets like these. Let's transform modern challenges into ancient opportunities together with the power of Stoicism.